What's going on, everybody? This is Neo, and you're checking out YouKnowIGotSoul.com. Peace and love.
All right, Neo, so we're here at the Boys and Girls Club in Newark, your 6th annual giving tour. Talk about that and the Compound, foundation, what you do with all that.
Absolutely. All right, well, Compound Foundation, this is a 6th annual giving tour, 6 years running. What it is, we do 4 cities in 4 days. We started in Las Vegas. We always do Las Vegas because that's where I grew up. From Las Vegas to LA, LA to here, and then tomorrow we do Atlanta, Georgia. We're gonna end it off there. And we team up with Boys and Girls Club, Toys for Tots, Pastry, Ubisoft, Coca-Cola, and a bunch of other really great sponsors. And we basically bring, positive holiday experience to kids who might not get it otherwise. It's roughly 500 kids per city, and we give away toys and bikes and games, and I sit and do not interviews, but autographs and pictures with everybody, and just doing something positive for the holidays for these kids.
It's definitely a great thing you guys are doing. I'm sure these kids are going to appreciate it and they'll brighten their holidays and all that.
Yeah.
So, in addition, you've got the new album out, R.E.D, released a couple months back. I know you tried to be a little pop and as well as R&B on this album. Based on the reaction you've heard from fans, you feel you were successful in reaching both audiences?
I think so. I feel like the responses that I've read have all been really positive on both sides of the gate. Which is honestly all I can really ask for.
Right.
As far as record sales and all of that stuff, it's not really my concern.
Right.
I don't concern myself with that. I concern myself with what the people think. And of course, you have your diehard R&B fans that wish that the whole album was that. But then you have your diehard pop fans who wish the whole album was that as well.
Right.
But I'm not completely R&B. I'm not completely pop. I'm music. So I'm gonna do music, and I'm gonna do it for people to enjoy it.
Right. Something I noticed about the album, even on the pop songs, if you change the production around to more R&B based production, they could be R&B songs. Like, that's just how I felt listening. Is that something you were trying to do going in?
Kinda. I told myself if I was gonna do the pop stuff, that it had to have a little bit of soul to it. It had to have a little bit of depth and meaning to it. And that's why those songs play out that way. Again, at the end of the day, with me, it's just music. It's just music.
And this is your first album with Motown. You're the senior VP of A&R over there.
Yeah.
Has that given you more control and more freedom to do what you want in the project? Or?
Not necessarily, in that I never really had anybody telling me that I could or couldn't do anything.
Right.
Even over at Def Jam. That was one of the things that attracted me to the deal, is that there was like, we know that you can write a hit, so write something for yourself.
Right.
The thing with Motown is more on the R&B side. Not R&B, A&R side of things.
Right.
Trying to make sure that the roster full of new artists that they have over there come out and do it the right way.
Cool. Tell me about this great song you just wrote for Luke James, "Make Love to Me." Just heard that song. That's an amazing song. How'd that all come together?
When I first heard about Luke James, the song that I was playing was what's it called? "I Want You."
Right, that's the same.
Dude's voice is out of this world, so I'm like, what am I gonna write for this dude that's gonna really, show off his vocal ability? So I just decided, a voice like that's, the ladies gotta appreciate that. So let me do a song that's gonna speak directly to them and put him in a place where he can really just get out there and sing to these women. That's exactly what the song is.
Great job on that one.
So
just take it back a little bit. R&B is evolving so much. Your first album, in my own words, classic album. It's 2012 now, almost 2013. Do you feel like a young Neo coming out for the first time today would put that same album out, or would it be a different thing?
Nah, it would be the exact same album.
Exact same
album.
Yeah.
I don't have any regrets, and I would never go back and change anything, just because I feel like everything that's happened up to this point has led me to this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So wouldn't change a thing.
Perfect. Love that album. And just one last question. You had a ton of success as a writer in the early 2000s, making hits for everyone. It took you a few years to get on as yourself as an artist. Just take me back to that whole era. Was it people weren't believing in you, or was it just you had to kind of pay your dues as a writer first?
A little bit of both. To be honest with you, initially, when you are trying to explain to someone who you are, it's gonna take them a minute to get it. It's hard to take who you are, who you think you are, and just put it in a box with a pretty little bow and give it to everybody. So of course there's gonna be confusion, and in that confusion, people are gonna, you know, just not be certain, you know, and that was a lot of what it was, you know, plus that, and then, you know, the natural comparisons that people do, like, oh, this sounds like Usher, but not as good, or, you know, stuff like that. I used to get a lot of stuff like that.
That makes sense.
And you know, again, until you can fully explain to people who you are or show them who you are, there's going to be confusion. You got to expect that.
Right.
You know? So I wasn't unrealistic about it. I knew that it was just a matter of time before people really realized who it is I am and what it is I do, and that once they did, that they would appreciate it. And sure enough, I'm sitting here in front of you now.
So that's all we got for you. Anything like that?
Just appreciate y'all taking the time. R.E.D. is in stores right now. Make sure you go pick it up. And as long as y'all keep cheering me on, I'll keep trying to deliver quality music to the world.